Welcome back, guys, gals, non-binary pals.
We're not trying to sound too notorious, but this is Brooklyn, and we are still black. And this is the day
Blackety
after.
black.
Blackety black.
We're after Juneteenth now because it's over.
So,
Happy Juneteenth, y'all.
I'm saying shout out to another black summer.
You know what's hilarious about Juneteenth? If I'm gonna scrape into the political realm a little bit.
As
Not
we
too
should.
far.
No. We scrape wherever we want to scrape, son.
What I love about the fact that they made this a bank holiday is that a lot of white folk were off. And the niggas that clean their offices and their toilets and their buildings and all that shit were still working today, including myself. Or yesterday now.
No. What's the difference between that and Martin Luther King Day?
Nothing. It's a bank holiday.
I'm sorry?
It's a scam. I mean, shout out for all the niggas out there that got the day off. Bless y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. You
Every
deserve
holiday
it.
is a scam. But
You deserve it. You know, slavery may be quote unquote over, but it's just taking different forms. Let's just say
we already have summer scrams, but if again, I don't even want to give him a shout out, but shout out to JD, but that's the summer scam. You know what I'm saying? And we are in the beginning of what used to be the one of the best parts of wrestling, or the best seasons of wrestling. That being the season starting of, let's say late May, but definitely King of the Ring going into SummerSlam, or once again,
what used to be the King of the Ring.
we just call that Summer Scram.
Obviously, I am once again the Liquid Snake. To my left is the Bandit, who is light-skinned. He basically buried the lead a little bit. We're gonna have a wrestling one. It's been a while. There's a lot of shit popping off, as it were, right now. In the league, can we say that? In the game, in the world,
No, definitely. I mean,
in the universe.
we've definitely have figured out the game, but we give y'all these wrestling casts when the timing is right, and goddamn if the timing ain't right now, you know what I mean? The oven has been on for a while, and what I'm saying, the grease is bubbling, but we not quite ready to throw the fish in there, but what I'm saying, soon y'all let's just say y'all get those good old sandwiches that y'all like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A little bit of hot sauce.
Speaking of hot sauce, I've waited a long time to introduce this man to my right.
He's been on several casts before, but
The notorious lost tapes we keep referencing.
those
pesky lost tapes.
those goddamn lost tapes, man.
Fuck audacity.
This is my younger brother, you know what I'm saying? One half of the Slick Bastards, you know what I'm saying? For those of us that know, we call him the Dancing Bear.
What's up, y'all out there? I'm the Dancing Bear. How y'all doing?
You know what I'm saying? But right now, y'all just refer to him as good old Spiggs Jackson.
Well, yes. How y'all doing out there?
Saying, just,
A little bit of wrestling talk today, yeah.
As of right now, good old Spiggs Jackson is our he's one of our correspondents. Definitely in regards to certain lore or lures.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll definitely present y'all with some tasteful facts in regards to some of y'all old school favorites. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Some of those being Brother Undies, aka Undertaker, aka Mean Mark.
Yeah.
One Michael, aka Mick Foley, and other dare we say hardcore legends. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, we'll just call, we'll call the Dancing Bear our hardcore correspondent.
Well, yeah.
But You know what I mean? Just give the people a few words about yourself right now, sir.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. You know, we having the bros get together, a little fish fry. You know, just vibing.
I mean, stay tuned for that Bruh's barbecue.
Right, and that gizzard sandwich. Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's a lot to contend with.
Yes.
In the last, I don't know, month or so. I guess we could list it, but we didn't really have a proper pre-production meeting.
No, it was definitely proper.
You just want to go from the top in order of like size or relevance, or?
Oh no.
You know.
Just even like the pre-production meeting. Getting back to the Dancing Bear. You were telling me about Undertaker having his own podcast.
Yeah, as well announced today. You know, the BSK Undertaker's bro, Godfather, announced that he's recorded several episodes, so far, but they haven't released it yet. It should be out sometime soon, guys.
Yeah, you said brother Godfather, aka
Papa Shango.
Yeah, Papa Shango. That was
Karma.
said that was his first guest.
Yeah. That was his second guest. He's the second guest. Yeah.
And so wait, who was his first guest?
He didn't make it clear. He just said he was the second one. Yeah. Yeah, it has to be. You know, a good amount of the BSK. Yeah, exactly.
See, and that's the whole thing. So and that's what we were talking about earlier. So it really should just be the BSK podcast.
Right. It should be. Yeah.
Nah, because first of all, R.I.P. Had this man still been alive, it really would have been the Rodney and Mark podcast, aka Undertaker and Yokozuna podcast.
Right. It would have
so,
been.
you know what I'm saying? Why not just because
his first guest should have been Mick Foley. I mean, what better way, to start it off?
Especially since
it still might be.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, now we get into a little bit more, soap opera lore shit.
Right.
Yeah, like that was a good point based upon the fact that Undertaker did not mention Mick Foley, Mankind at all in his fucking Hall of Fame speech.
Right.
So that's the least you could do is he should be the first. Like, come on, like we talk about dudes that. I mean, Undertaker was already Undertaker by the time Mankind came around. But
mind you guys, no offense taken by Mick. Mick made it clear on social media. They're homeboys, he good. Everything was good about it.
Yeah, and again, it's not somebody that you dislike.
Right.
Realistically, as we all know, up until Mankind showed up, Undertaker's best rivals were dudes that were mad fat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
True,
your quote unquote
King Mabel, Yokozuna, all these guys.
Yeah, all of that.
AKA Big Daddy V.
Yeah. And then, up until that point, the best match he had was, WrestleMania 12 against, you know what I'm saying? Big Daddy Cool.
Right.
But at the same time, when you talk about, the whole career and the career arc, Undertaker, when you talk about him and his, top 5, highlights.
Yeah.
Mick Foley probably has, 2 or 3 of
He
those.
has, 2 or 3 of those, yeah. And triple.
Least.
And, who else? Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, too, yeah.
Well, yeah, if you throw Shawn Michaels and Kane are probably Shawn Michaels Hell in a Cell.
Right, where it started. Yeah.
Well, him and Kane.
Especially Kane, yeah.
Well, we talk about Kane. It's either that WrestleMania match and that first Inferno match.
Right.
But again, we like I said, we a little warmed up, so we'll ask you once again, who is your top 5 all time?
All right, I go do that to me. All right. Let me see.
We getting warmed up now.
The dude we speaking about right now, the Undertaker's first.
Yes.
You have Stone Cold, RVD, Edge, and
that 5th one was always a hard one.
It is, ain't it? Yeah.
Nah. Just knowing you, it would have to be.
It's Mick Foley.
Yeah, it would have to be.
It's Mick Foley. Yeah, exactly.
It would have to be.
Cactus. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whenever we have whenever we have Brother Jackson on the next cast, we'll definitely do a Three Faces of Foley rendition and his reception on that. But
yeah, have a nice day, y'all.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. But as of right now, I guess we'll talk about a little bit more current things, and
all right.
I guess I'll pose this next question to the Liquid one.
All right.
That question being, are you ready for 30 Superman punches, 15 F5s, and 45 spears? Even though we've seen that, 10 times now?
If it was really that many moves, I wouldn't be mad at that. It's probably gonna be like half of that.
Don't forget 20 near falls.
Oh yeah, mad near pins and Roman trying to do a terrible guillotine on Brock Lesnar.
Yo, like the second that Roman stopped wearing that gold glove, that's when his best run ended.
Well, they got comfortable as usual. They're like, oh, he's over finally. Oh my God. And so they went back to phoning it in, and here we are. Like they gave. It's funny. We mentioned him a lot tonight, but a lot of other podcasters besides JD have said this. In that they needed to unify the belts or just have both belts on one guy or whatever it is. And now here it is, and they can't even
go back to the true brand split.
Yeah, but they can't even do that. And then Roman has to take vacation, so it's just Brock Lesnar in a different suit. And again, I get the leukemia thing. He's a family man. He's traveling all the time. More power to him to get vacations, but.
That and theoretically, not even theoretically.
Especially since he's carrying the company, like essentially one of the people carrying it.
No, he's essentially he broke the record for like longest run, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That was the CM Punk record, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, that man he wanted the whole summer off and he deserves it. And realistically, they should have gave him the summer off, and this is when I'm always going to be a proponent of the King of the Ring, the real, true King of the Ring, not the King Corbin shit. Last true King of the Ring, rightfully so, was William Regal. And you know what? He deserved that shit, but the King of the Ring was the summer tournament, son.
It was also how to build not just the king, whoever would have never really won the tournament, but build the guys in the tournament. If you were in the tournament, you meant something. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just you're a mid-card, whatever.
Yes.
I'm sure there was plenty of mid-card dudes in the tournament, but like it was the mid-card tournament. Like who are the next guys to go up the card? If you're in the tournament, that means they took you seriously.
We're still in the month of June, so for each of you gentlemen, I will ask y'all who your favorite King of the Ring dudes are or were. We'll get to that in a little bit. But at the same time,
that's hard.
Nah, it can't be that hard.
King Mabel.
First of all, he didn't win. Oh no, he didn't win, but that was the worst year.
He did win.
He did, and that was the worst year of them all. 95 is excluded. So anywhere it's 93, 94, no 95, 96, 97, all the way up until 02 when Brock Lesnar won.
No, we can extend a little bit. Booker T.
Yeah, that made, sadly, that made King Booker. As a
matter of fact, no.
That made his career. Like that's what people remember, unfortunately. Like
at the same time, I'm gonna exclude those because that wasn't the tournament.
Didn't Brett win it too?
Brett was the first one. Brett, then Owen.
I'm probably gonna pick Owen. Spoiler. Like dead ass. Maybe Xavier because he wanted it so bad. I will save it, but
we'll save that for a little bit later, sir. You know what I'm saying? I'll give y'all niggas some time to think about that. But at the same time, I'll pose another question. Who is really winning right now? in regards to the true brands is that the AEW, or possibly somebody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the AEW. Yeah.
AEW?
Yeah.
Now, I know you don't watch it too much. But
I don't watch it too much. Yeah.
Who would you say is your favorite person in AEW right now? Well, not even your favorite person, but clearly, you know who's relevant over there. So, and clearly those are old motherfuckers from the E. Dudes that were popping 10 years ago are the faces of AEW right now, and I don't want to say it, but that shows you the true essence of AEW, why they kind of are the new WCW. But for those of the people you know who are in AEW right now, who would you say is your favorite, or who is the person that you want to see the most in there right now?
The most in WWE, you mean?
No, in AEW.
That's from like.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Or just the biggest name that you know in AEW right now that you want to see.
Yeah, I got to go with Luchasaurus. Yeah.
All right, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So I mean, if you go on with Luchasaurus, that means you definitely want to see Jungle Boy too.
Jungle Boy, yeah, they're good. They're good.
All right. And definitely in regards to like the old school WWE lore. All right, I would say it like this: who would you pay to see right now more, CM Punk or Bryan Danielson? Who would you pay to see more right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Punk. Yeah,
CM Punk.
Yeah, it's Punk.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, I can't even go back.
If RVD want to make an appearance, he's still wrestling. He's 50 years old now. He still got it.
And you know what? At some point, RVD is gonna show up. Him and Sabu.
He reaches out to Vince. They don't get back to him. I heard.
Oh, that's Vince's fault.
And he wrestled at Japan. I think it's Pro Wrestling Noah. They think they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a great showing.
I mean, if things go the way they should, folks, we probably will do a Forbidden Door cast.
All
right. I mean, I know we damn sure ain't gonna do a fucking Money in the Bank joint.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, shout out. I mean, stay tuned for that Forbidden Door cookout.
I'm really looking forward to that. Even though certain matches can't happen due to
real
various
matches that should happen,
politics or whatever. I think it'll be great. Still, the fact that they had Supercard of Honor will prepare them.
Wait. It's they having that 6-man tag match with two Japanese dudes that I'm not too familiar with, and they're tagging up with your man Eddie Kingston. And Jericho is teaming up with 2 other dudes. I think. Wait, is it Suzuki and somebody else?
Is it time for some on-air research? See the card as it is right now.
Wow, that card is weird in general.
I mean, it was going to be.
But no, we definitely know it's Tanahashi and Moxley, and it's Jay White and Cowboy, right?
Yeah.
I don't really want to see that match, but I know it's going to be a cool one. I would prefer to see Jay White and somebody else a little bit more gangster. If we're talking AEW, if he wasn't injured, it definitely would have been Jay White. It would have been champion against champion. It would have been Jay White against Punk. And, yeah, I definitely would like that way more than Jay White and Hangman. But,
all right, I found it. So far.
And wait, Okada still has yet to have a fucking any opponent.
Not yet. I mean, he will, though. He will.
But again, boy, if Vince McMahon was if Stephanie knows what she's doing, I send Seth Rollins to Forbidden Door, and it's Seth Rollins against fucking Okada. So.
Nah, Ospreay finally, after all that shit talking between the two of them for years.
No, first of all, they already had like 2 or 3 matches, both out here in Japan. That's why Will got his shit off.
All right, so the matches so far are
honestly no. If I'm being real, and I run WWE, I'm having Okada against Edge for Forbidden Door, son.
That would take all types of ridiculousness to happen, but it would be cool. It would be cool.
Well, we've been through a pandemic, and everybody gotta get this fucking bread, son. Okada against Edge, that's the biggest fucking dream match you could put on right now, son. That's possible.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't involve Kenny, because he's hurt.
Well, no, because AJ was already in Japan. That's what I'm saying, boy. If I'm a smart businessman, I'm putting Edge in that Forbidden Door realm, somewhere.
Especially after they basically killed Judgment Day, so there's nothing for him to do.
All right, so that's another question I'll present to the Dancing Bear. Would you have, if you're Bray Wyatt, do you show up at the Forbidden Door?
If I was Bray Wyatt?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
If you're him, if you know what he knows in regards to WWE, you know what's going on in regards to AEW, you're essentially still a free agent. So
I would definitely go. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So you would.
He should. Yeah.
So here's where the real question is for you, as an Undertaker fan, as a Mankind Mick Foley fan. If you're Bray Wyatt and you show up to the Forbidden Door, what persona or what personality do you show up as?
He definitely has to change it up. He can't be the same thing.
So you're saying he shows up as somebody like a whole new, totally new.
The thing I understand is that, like, you know, when he was the Fiend, it was interesting, and we always talked about that. Me and you talked about how him and his brother should have been like that real weird kind of Norman Bates funny dude. You know what I mean? But he already did that. He did that already. Yeah.
What rendition / phase / flavor of Bray Wyatt was your favorite?
My favorite, it was the original. Yeah, the Eater of Worlds, because when he became Woken, it was kind of boring and drawn out, you know.
Well, the Woken shit was whack.
Yeah, it was whack.
But definitely, you're right. Definitely the originator of the Firefly.
How many renditions is it? Like 3 to 4?
I mean, if we're talking legitimate, all right, you had him in NXT. Well, no, you had
what was his name? Husky Harris. Yeah.
Then you had him when NXT originated. That was like the original Bray Wyatt.
Right.
That was the what was that? The Cape Fear. Bray Wyatt, you know, with the Hawaiian shirts, but
right in the fedoras.
He was Cape Fear, but they brought in that ill flavor of Deliverance.
Right. I think they kind of messed up. I mean, I'm sure Bray probably wanted to do this, but the whole supernatural powers thing. I mean, he was just that basic. I mean, psycho family, you know, Wyatt family has psychos.
But I mean, and you remember they started that when they tried to start that whole program with him and Undertaker.
Right.
Because, you know, he quote unquote stole the powers from Undertaker.
Oh man.
And that's when, you know, the Wyatt family was going at it with the Brothers of Destruction.
Right.
As a matter of fact, while we're talking about that, you know what I'm saying, we would like to get your views on that, because you definitely were watching that way more than I was, and probably when the Liquid one was watching that. But Give us your take based upon that. The Wyatt family and the Brothers of Destruction.
Oh yeah, the 25th anniversary of Survivor Series. Yeah, it was a pretty decent build, but I wish that the Brothers of Destruction were more in their prime.
And they were old.
Undertaker tried his best. He's a pro. Kane is a savage. But they did what they could with that storyline, but I just didn't like it as much.
And that was a weird time during the Wyatt family because that's when they first introduced Braun, but that's definitely
right.
Only reason that happened was because
AKA the Black Sheep. Yeah, he was the Black Sheep.
And that's only because Eric Rowan had gotten injured and
yeah.
Truth be told, they probably should have done a whole family thing when they had the full family, and whether it was the IC championship, Ray should have had one major championship
right
while running them and so on and so forth. But it's kind of like that Hollywood blonde shit where the Wyatt family popped so quickly and so strong to where they didn't know what to do with them because that was during the time where they was really pushing the Shield.
Yeah, I think that's why Vince, felt kind of threatening. They became big so fast.
And it's stupid because, again, we talked about it earlier in regards to, like, Sting, like, early 90s WCW, where they could have kept Cactus Jack. They could have kept a couple of different dudes.
Right.
Where you had the hottest fucking face in the fucking industry. And all you had to do was just keep having real, like, legitimate, dangerous heels coming at him.
Yeah, exactly.
You had Vader.
Yeah, he worked great with Vader. He was that
You had him and Lex Luger, and they had like their little weird friendship. So
right.
Lex was like half face, half heel. You ain't do nothing with Cactus Jack.
That's what as an underdog as he was indestructible. I think that's what drew me to Mick Foley.
Yeah, man.
He was the human cannonball, if you want to call it that. He fell on his back on concrete and stuff.
We talked about it. He was doing the
sunset flip
powerbomb to the outside.
Oh man, those back and hips, man.
On the concrete, son.
Wow, it's lucky that he only has a hip replacement. He been through so much, you would have thought he was in an explosion or something, but
it's lucky that he's still able to speak proper English.
Right.
And function as a regular human being. You know what I'm saying?
I have to give a shout out to to the legend, Terry Funk. I hope he's doing well with his family. He's battling certain dementia and stuff, but him and Mick is keeping it in touch. He recently took him to the barbecue pit. I saw it on social media.
and shout out to FMW. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the old school deathmatch motherfuckers. RIP to Mike Awesome.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Miss him.
All types of... Hayabushi. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to WCW NWO World Tour. And all those ill what was that? Aki...
Aki, man. Yeah,
Aki,
man.
those Aki games. What's that? THI? I forgot. THQ. All those, late 90s video games that shaped the dudes' childhoods. You know what? For one more time, shout out to the Big Van.
R.I.P. It's Vader time.
All day, baby. You know what I'm saying? The only wrestler to be on Boy Meets World.
As far as I can remember, yeah. That was like a real, wasn't some can that they got.
Look, Triple H was on the Drew Carey show while he was the Intercontinental Champion.
And Mad TV.
He was on Mad TV, but I think that was after Stone Cold.
Yeah, I believe so.
But shout out to various other individuals. But
whether you were on TV or not.
Shout out to ECW.
So I don't know if y'all want to keep dancing around it, but We gotta talk. We gotta talk about
we
this.
Dance, but we don't dance around it. We see that fatty in front of us, and we
climb up on it.
That's what they want.
That's true. So there's a lot of shit happening besides Forbidden Door and such. Major news broke 3 days ago now.
Several.
As of recording.
I mean, this last week has been very tantalizing in regards to wrestling lore.
Yeah.
I mean, look, JD said that this Vince shit is arguably the biggest shit that he's ever experienced. And he's older than all three of us.
I mean, it makes sense.
Well, since the case.
But that's the thing, like, when the case was happening, there was no internet. There was nothing like that. Like, yeah, the dirt sheets covered it, and Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and you name it, all the wrestling magazines covered it.
But again, that's why the case was so big.
Yeah, and it confirmed people's belief about what wrestling was and things like that, and how over the top it was and all this drama. But nowadays, like, everything is under a microscope because you're getting up to the second updates practically about everything, whether it's rumor, whether it's conjecture, whether it's speculation, or it's the facts. You're getting a drip feed of it,
which proves, what shows how big.
There's still a lot of people who don't know about the steroid trial, like, at all, and claim to be wrestling fans. And not that you are less of a wrestling fan because you don't know about it. We have plenty of young wrestling fans who are not even alive for that. So, props to Bob Costas and Dark Side of the Ring and all these other people who covered it. But
oh shit, I mean, the Dancing Bear himself was only a couple of months old.
There you go.
When the trial really popped.
I was 9.
Well, look, that was what, 93?
Yeah, I was 9.
I was turning 6. That's definitely when, I'm saying, that's when the young bandit went to Disney World. I mean, whenever we get big enough, I will show y'all that tape.
The happy times at Disneyland.
I feel like we still have that tape. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, the lost tapes.
For those who don't know, since we're kind of like speaking at it half-assedly, I'm gonna, I guess, gloss over it a little bit. Vince McMahon allegedly was having he claims, consensual relationship with a woman he hired on as a paralegal a couple years ago.
Her original salary was $100,000. Year 2, it was $200,000.
Yeah, he upped that,
Then your man Vinnie Mac passed her off like he was Magic Johnson. Off to good old John Laurinaitis.
Good old Johnny Ace. People power. People power.
I guess that people power was extremely strong.
Well, the powers was happening because the way they quote it in the Wall Street Journal, shout out to them for breaking this story instead of, WrestleVotes or, a wrestling outlet, because now it adds some seriousness. And I don't want to say wrestling outlets are not serious or anything like that, but we in the wrestling world know what it is with this dude. There's there's Rita Chatterton, there's Sable,
that shows
you
how many people in the real world truly hate Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Because look, several years ago, me and the Dancing Bear and several others, we used to listen to good old Bruce Blitz. I believe he got a little too old and stressed out to do this shit anymore. But him and shout out to MG, the Mad Genius. But they would speak about a lot of inside Vinnie Mac shit that would go on, and you know what I'm saying, we're Well, shit, it should have happened years ago, but we're truly understanding what went on back in the 80s, 90s, but the fucked up thing is we're seeing what's happening till this day.
And the ripple effects of all of that. And again, culture. We've talked about this before plenty on other episodes. Once you get away with a thing for so long, when culturally it's just accepted these types of behaviors.
You feel like you're John Gotti.
I mean, he does feel like that to be doing such things, and then they pay this woman $3 million hush money or whatever it was, a couple mil, whatever, $1 million to $3 million. I'm sorry, I'm not up on it. I've been reading about this shit all week, but I'm pretty sure it was $3 million to like keep her quiet with the NDA or whatever. And I guess it didn't happen.
Again, look, her original salary was $100,000. I'm guessing once she started that relationship with Vince, it was $200,000. She claims that she got too afraid of what was going on. Clearly, that's when she was passed off to brother Laurinaitis. Well, we can say what it is, the less cooler Laurinaitis brother.
Wow.
R.I.P. the animal. But, I mean, I'm not going to get to the whole lore, but she claimed that she got scared up until a certain point. That's when she chose to leave. And that's when, that quote-unquote hush money, that $3 million came about. And again, a lot of this shit came about because of her quote-unquote friend. We still don't know who this friend is and who the fuck she really is and if she really has any real importance. Which is probably why Vince is gonna get off on all this shit. Which sucks.
I think they're, a lot, and us and thousands of other fans are speculating they're just gonna bury John Laurinaitis while he skates.
Yeah.
The fact that Vince literally appeared on SmackDown last Friday and
said absolutely nothing.
And then Raw tonight, says that
he said the same shit that his commercials. Now, no. Let's just pause that, right? If this was, I'm not gonna say 98. I'm not gonna say 2000. If this was 2007, that would have been a much more direct and a much more believable Vince McMahon. This man literally came out and told you the same thing that his same generic ass commercial literally just told you before he walked out. Before you heard no chance. And all these fucking marks. They are marks because they're lame and they clearly have no directions. They clearly have no... I always say this on our cast, but they have no spice melange.
Damn it, they're my sheep, damn it.
No, and he's right. That's why Vince did that.
Right.
Because he knew no matter what he does, the sheep are always going to be there.
It's true. You saw how they were cheering like crazy on SmackDown? Yeah.
Singing his fucking song.
Let me just ask this. I'm going to ask you guys this. Do you think that this is the end of the McMahon dynasty?
I don't know. As he is so fond of talking about, he's never lost a court case.
Just easy answer is no, because when you say the McMahon dynasty, no.
Also, there's so many fall guys too.
The McMahons will always run what was known as the WWF, WWE. That franchise until Stephanie's kids don't want to fuck with it no more. It will always be a McMahon chicken franchise.
Always. That's why he's saying that stuff, forever, always, blah, blah, blah.
Forever and together.
And together. That's the best part. And again, it's hard to be mad at the man, even though I should be, about taking advantage of the controversy and just going for that ratings bump or whatever. But Jesus,
right, but
like, that's so
what
disgusting.
really is a ratings bump?
Anything for them. Anything.
All right, but that's
any
not
level.
a ratings bump. That's just...
And they did get it, according to, Dave Meltzer and various others. So, mission accomplished, I guess. But
at the same time, for them, especially the E, a ratings bump is really an anatomy.
Agreed. I wanted to tune in to see what he was gonna say, like everybody else. I really did. I didn't, but I was going. I felt it. Like I felt the want to look at this.
You watched it, right?
Yeah, I saw it, but I didn't see it live or anything. Like I was gonna actually like tune in on my phone somehow or whatever. But, the Twitter is on it, so they told me and screen capped and showed me.
All right. So look, just to keep things a little spicy, what was your worst Vince McMahon moment?
That I hated him for?
No. All right, look, and we will exclude the nigga moment.
In the storyline or as a person? Like, there's so much. This nigga's
No.
This nigga's
Honestly,
evil, son.
Nah, just keeping it like real simple. Nah, just the Mr. McMahon, the character, him as a human being. Like I don't think we have enough time to speak about that. But no, the Mr. McMahon, Vinnie Mac on TV character moments.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along. The corporate ministry story, even though it was goofy as shit, was engaging enough with the mystery they told and all this stuff with the higher power, and whatever. But
ultimately, it made sense in regards to who the higher power was.
Sure, but it was
and
so
again,
stupid.
Like, the Undertaker is the one that sold that. But at the same time, you and I both know that we kind of almost thought it may have been somebody else.
I was hoping it was somebody else.
We did, but then when we saw that it was Vince, it was like, all right.
Sure, okay.
All right, okay, so we doing the same shit. It made sense,
corporate ministry, whatever. But like, also like I remember me and my mans like being into that story because we thought it would be someone new or someone from WCW or whatever it is. Like, and that's the best you got. Word, you?
So, all right, so just to be fair, so it was me, Austin. That holds more weight than JR being the second entry into the Kiss My Ass Club.
Or him making all of that, him making fun of JR and his palsy after it happened to him. Like, and I get it, you want shock value, all this and that, but like, fuck, like, that was so bad. Like, you have basically your most beloved, I guess, non-wrestler on the show, and that's how you
the best commentators who ever fucking lived.
That's how you, and props to JR for going through with the booking and all that, but like, Jesus, like, was that wasn't necessary.
And again,
what storyline did that progress? I guess, getting revenge for JR, sure, but like, what did that do ultimately? Nothing.
And again, I forgot what pay-per-view that was. It was somewhere in, I believe, 96, where it was all three of them, Vince McMahon, JR, and the King, where they kept cutting off JR's fucking mic.
Oh yeah, and isn't that when he cut that promo in the ring or whatever?
No, it was a pay-per-view.
Out or whatever.
It may have been when he cut that promo. I think it was probably on that Raw after that, but this was it was something in your house in '96. But even the King was like, "Yo, this is ridiculous. I keep cutting his mic off." Yeah. But,
so those, I mean, I guess easy ones are like making Sable bark like a dog and all that stuff.
An honorable mention is definitely Vince McMahon against God.
Oh yeah. A spotlight, basically. it can be mocking God, and I get it. You know, again, it's all of these things like in the character, even though clearly he's kind of like this in real life, like an edgelord type of asshole dude, who's always trying to prove himself or whatever. That, you know, he's just like, all right, I'm always gonna get. His thing was I was only gonna get at the thing that matters to you the most and pick at that.
Oh, that's shock factor.
Yeah.
Getting those fucking ratings.
And I mean, I don't know. A lot of these stories are pretty terrible, but we still watched all the same. We were still there every week. So that's it for me. I'm sure there's others I'm blanking on right now, but I think the JR one is the one where I actually, like, as a kid, like, remember feeling like, oh, that's not right. Like, feeling bad about
JR.
The face.
No. I was about to bring up not even the Oklahoma voice, but no. This fuck boy that was in WCW, the one that played Oklahoma.
Yeah, Ed Ferrara.
I mean, look, Ed Ferrara, to his credit, he was a good personality in regards to commentary, especially with WCW and early TNA. But fuck him for being Oklahoma. Nah,
yeah,
man, fuck him for that.
And to give him some, I don't want to really defend, but to give him some defense, it was a Russo angle, and so they went with it. That was clearly whatever.
Well, first of all, look, if you're talking anything WCW between 99 and 01 when Vince bought them, there's always going to have to be an apology for any of that shit.
Yeah, man, because you're just trying to get your check. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
And that's the fucked up thing, because that is arguably Scott Steiner's best work. Like that 2-year span.
Even over TNA?
Yes.
And the Steiner math? And,
yes.
You know?
Yes.
I'll see you at Sacrifice or whatever. You know?
No, because we're talking 99, between 99 and 01. He got the chip in what, 2000?
Yeah.
He beat Booker T.
Did.
So you look at just the talent that he beat during that course. Booker T, Goldberg. I think he had a little thing with Sting. He was one of the X factors in regards to the NWO being somewhat relevant and NWO breaking up.
Yeah, but let's stick to Vinnie Mac. Let's go to the Bear. See what he says.
Your worst Vinnie Mac, Vince McMahon moment.
Well, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick. Of course, the Montreal Screwjob. I'm contractually obligated to say that.
That's excluded.
That's obvious, right? But like, you know,
excluded.
As the Bret Hart dude, you know, I just had to throw that.
We don't include that. We don't include that.
The Vince McMahon against Stephanie, you know, dang, man, his own.
I
mean, he had a match with her, you know, he choked.
I don't know, was that an I Quit match?
I believe so.
And I believe that was that was 03.
Right.
Because that was right before the Buried Live match with him and Undies. Because he was like, no, him and Stephanie, I believe that was No Mercy 03.
Oh man.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just like Brother Snake said, like even the segment with him cheating on Linda McMahon and right in her face when she's a vegetable. I'm like, all right, the story is.
And look, you bring up a great point, because as we know now, they haven't really truly been together for at least 20-something years.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Nah, that's what this whole new case is about.
Okay.
An affair, and truth be told, like Linda and Vince they haven't been truly together since Shane and Stephanie have been like in their early 20s.
Oh man, wow. She's the woman been through a lot.
But yeah, no. Yeah, no. Honestly,
Your worst Vince moment, right? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I mean, shit. You can even call the, I believe that was 2001. And you could tell Trish Stratus wasn't all the way into this shit, but
Yeah, she was a bit
that whole affair that when Shane had first quote unquote purchased WCW, and Vince was clearly cheating on Linda when Linda had gone into that whole trance where she was just sitting in the wheelchair not talking. And Vince is slobbing Trish Stratus
right in front of her.
Right in front of her, son.
Like, man, this just, I mean, the lengths he would go just for a story, though. I'm just saying, like, man.
No, Vince will die for a story.
For a story.
But at the same time, it's like, you know.
Because you know why? Damn it, because he's Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
And he feels like he'll always get away with anything and everything. So, you know what I mean? We haven't gotten too far from a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? We're still in those days, but it's messed up because those old heads that used to run those days, they're the ones that are getting caught up now.
Right.
And Vince is he's gonna bury any and everybody he can. And that's why I said, like, you know, a couple of days ago, we'll see who's truly loyal to Vince and who's not. Because
like you said, you're gonna still have you're gonna have Bruce back there. Who's gonna say something? Exactly. You got Bruce. You got the Beaver back there.
No, somebody's gonna say something.
Somebody gonna say something.
Who says what? You know, that's a different story. But you know, somebody's gonna say something because they're gonna have to, man. And why wouldn't you? Fuck Vince, man.
Well, beyond that, what it comes down to is how much do the shareholders care about this? Because they are ultimately who matters to Vince, all of those corporate dudes. That's what affects the money.
Yeah.
Especially with all these jokes about Nick Khan basically bumping all these guys off so he could take over the company. You know, that'll factor in. If it's an internal investigation, forget it. Vince is skating. There's just no way like that they will sacrifice the head of the company, who is essentially the soul of the company, for better or worse. And that'll be that. You know, maybe some folks will flee the ship, but I think if they can try to get away with it, they will, like they always have. So to answer your question, Spigs, I think he'll get away with it. Unless there's some real charges filed against him, criminal charges. This doesn't appear to be a criminal thing. Maybe a financial crime, I guess. Like, it's not good for business. But ultimately, it's like I said earlier, like, people don't care about the E. They don't care about, I don't want to say don't care about it, but they don't care about, like, these gears, you know, besides us, the wrestling nerds. Your average dude is going to be like, wow, that's crazy, but we'll forget about it when the next story comes out.
That is true, but
you know, so I don't know. Do I think it'll be a close shave? Definitely. If it's an outside investigation from Better Business Bureau or somebody, whatever. I know Better Business Bureau is a scam, but
this is the beginning of something.
Something like once again, it shines a light on how gross the culture is there.
This investigation is going to lead into something else. What that is, I don't know, but again, there are certain individuals, especially motherfuckers that were part of the original XFL, that are still hunting for Vince. So, again, this initial investigation is going to lead to something. Because Vince McMahon has had too many other investigations. Ultimately, look, if this leads to Vince finally saying that he needs to fucking leave the game, which is a lot.
Vince ain't going nowhere.
He's not, but he should.
He's in the shadows.
We'll see.
He's in the
We'll
earpiece. He's with us right now.
I'm saying Vince.
He's in Gorilla right now, right? Exactly.
Nah, he's in that weight room at Titan Tower right now.
Oh,
He is though. Or he just worked out and he's like getting ready for bed. Apparently, this is around when he's done with his workout.
No, he never sleeps.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. There's still a lot of details coming out, but I don't know. I just seeing him skate for so long, it's hard to bet against him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't think the CM Punk thing was it, but again, they have so many fall guys like Dr. Aman, who is the named defendant in that case or whatever, so that he doesn't have to take the hit. You know, that man, I feel, is never gonna see the inside of a jail cell. He's covered up murders,
again,
allegedly.
him skating,
covered up rapes, allegedly. He covered up, so
skating,
much. Like, he covered up Ashley Massaro. The poor woman killed herself. And that was based on her alleged sexual assault. Unfortunately, I have to say alleged. Sexual assault when they were doing their USO shows. The troop shows. And they didn't do anything about it. They just seemed, they were like, oh, she's just saying stuff and it's not true. And we looked into it, and that was the last you heard of it. And now that poor woman is dead. Like, where does the consequence come in? Where does if any, where does the consequence come in? It also says a lot of certain moves that he was making. I don't know if you guys remember a year ago or so, maybe a couple months, where Vince was selling off mad stock to cash out. And so is it like, are you getting money to like pay off stuff like this so that it's not on the books? Because then if it's on the books, it's a financial crime. I am far from an accountant or anything like that. But if any cent of E-money was involved in this, I am willing to speculate hard body that plenty of E-dollars are involved in cover-ups and collusion and paying for people's surgery so they shut up and all types of shit. Like, so
ever since the steroids case.
Exactly. So we'll see what shenanigans Vince pulls. It's weird. Like, he's not acting like a guy who was guilty. He's just facing it, which is so bizarre.
He's acting like Vince McMahon has always acted.
Then now, forever. What is it?
Together.
And together.
Yeah.
You guys belong with me.
All right, so I mean, look, just give us your last comments. In regards to where you think things are going to. Give us your thoughts in regards to where you think things are going to go and how you think things should go.
I just like to say I'm sorry, like, for the victims that suffered through this, and I hope that they get the justice that's needed. But it's pretty hard to say that. This dude has so much power, like, so.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like, we're talking the difference between reality and perception. You know what I'm saying? Where you think things should go and where you think things will go. In other words, the good Vinnie Mac as opposed to the bad Vinnie Mac.
You mean like he go bad or something? Okay.
No, I'm saying like you already know what the bad Vinnie Mac is.
Right.
Let's say if Vince McMahon doesn't have full control over shit.
Right.
Where would you like to see things go?
Well, the business should improve. I know. There's so many things it needs it needs to be demolished and built back up. Basically, I'll be able to explain that, but I don't see.
No, just with a couple of names. Like clearly, you don't
bring
want to
back
see
everybody that was released.
Clearly, you don't want to see Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the.
Oh no, I don't. I really don't. I'm Superman punched out. Really. Yeah.
Clearly, Cody and Seth Rollins was the illest shit, honestly, in wrestling.
Right.
What would you like to see right now? If if you could control things right now.
Well, yeah, I don't really watch it now, the product right now, so like.
Don't matter if just
you have the book.
But I have if I had the book.
It don't matter what you watching. Just who would you pay to see right
I will
now?
I will take back the storyline with Judgment Day, and bring Edge back and let him do his creation that he came up with, Do that.
So, all right, so you will say ultimately that will lead up to what?
This is when Bray Wyatt could come back.
Yeah.
Better storylines, as he always says, as Vince always says, better storylines.
Yeah.
Good
shit.
Good. Yeah. That's the thing. Have good shit. Actual good shit. Exactly. With Bray Wyatt. But it's too late for that because his whole character was damaged. So I'm like,
So ultimately, it would have been Edge and Reigns at some point.
Edge and Reigns.
Not in that whack WrestleMania shit, but you let Edge build his shit up and have some ill storyline.
Right.
Outside of that, who else?
Probably, I would love to see Joe come back for another Brock Lesnar match. Even Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. I would like to see that.
Reigns, like a real match. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to see the same match. Over and over.
No. And then Brock and Randy, we didn't really get a real build up for that or like a real match.
Just look what he did to him, son. He busted him wide open like that. You want revenge from that. Exactly, so.
And again, like there's a OVW story to that.
Right.
Much like it was with fucking Cena and Brock Lesnar.
Right. And you would bring Cena back, and Cena will actually turn heel.
Why not?
If Vince is going,
fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck it.
Turn Cena
you don't know when the next time you're gonna have John in.
Right.
So might as well, right?
Just do it. All these years, he's like, come on. Just turn it. So what would you like to see here? How about you?
I too am not watching too much these days.
I'm sorry.
But I do, keep track enough. I think that Judgment Day thing is good. And I guess to expand upon your point, like many other nerds have said before me, bring back the mid-card in the Attitude Era, which they're always talking about, which everyone's always talking about, even though the storylines in the Attitude Era were crazy, and many of them super terrible. But they were entertaining, and that's what brought you back. I referenced Val Venus Choppy PP like a couple days ago somewhere else, and I was like, wow, like I was really invested in that, even though it was so stupid. Like, and then they had John Wayne Bobbin on there, like it was wild. It's stupid, but that was creative. I'll say that, man. It was dumb, but it was creative and crazy racist, but whatever. That's the Attitude Era. But people always talk about the Attitude Era. And the Attitude Era, the mid-card is what kind of carried the show. The reason why the title runs felt more important is because the world title was, the champion got runs, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were on the show every week, but they didn't necessarily wrestle or defend it. They were just building toward the next feud or the next pay-per-view or something like that, and that mattered, that tells the story. You don't necessarily need to have wrestling to advance it, which I appreciated. And I feel like they've gone away from that. They just have, these techniques that they use. I'll use the women's division as an example. Like, many people have referenced this as well. Most of their women's storylines is like, all right, women A, let's just say Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is seen as like, even though she was a bully, we'll use the Ember Moon shit. When they brought Ember Moon up to the roster, the main roster, they had her be like the beta, like dork lit, girl. And they referenced the fact that she likes games and shit or whatever. Yeah. Trying to add that little spice of the real world. And they would just, Mandy and Sonya would just bully her about not having friends. And that's like every female heel's motivation. Natalia's done many of these angles. Mickie James was like that when she was with Alexa Bliss, even though they made that work. Like, she really helped. She doesn't get credit for really putting Alexa over, but it's whatever. Like, Mickie James doesn't get credit in general. So shout out to you, Mickie. You're fantastic at what you do for the business. But yeah, like they don't flesh out anyone but the 2 or 3 storylines that they're into and that they can keep track of. For example, they put so much into the Happy Corbin shit, and it worked. You know, it was entertaining, it's funny. But they developed Madcap Moss because they're clearly into him. They've always been into him since he was Riddick Moss. Yeah. You know, and the Riddick regime or whatever. Like, when they care, they will develop you. Austin Theory is another one. They will clearly want him to be the next Cena, you know, and all this stuff. But they can't split focus. They don't trust their writing staff to have all these other threads in the background because, oh, well, it makes my creative look weak if someone else gets over, you know, or if it's not.
There's no creative process.
And yeah, especially when you got Vince McMahon ripping up the script hours before showtime, and you're telling tired, disgruntled, you know, exhausted and frustrated wrestlers, all right, this is what we're gonna do now, even though you spent time and energy and possibly money and all these things.
You shifted them one way, now you
sitting here all night having the greatest brainchild ever.
Yeah.
Just to have Vince rip it up in your face. I mean, that's so disappointing.
Yeah, you've been working on this gimmick for like 2-3 weeks straight, and then for them to tell you that like you gotta cut all that shit off, and come up with some whole new shit the night of.
It's because Vince wants dudes to oil down and pose, but.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, no.
Or worse still, at least oiling down and posing is something, I guess. Shout out to the Steiner versus Triple H pose off. And what was that, 02 or 03? I forget where. But you're right in that, they don't have things for them to do except for their main guys. And that's just what it is. And they don't care enough to do so because the formula has worked. Again, imagine ripping up the script. I could see ripping up the script right before showtime and then coming up with some genius shit that kind of coasts you, carries you through the show. But you see the disjointedness of when that happens, when you hear those reports from dirt sheets and other outlets, how wrestlers just can't cope with suddenly having to make shit up on the fly. It's ironic because the wrestlers are not allowed to be who they are unscripted, but then they rip the script up and then expect you to learn this whole new script in an hour.
No performer can ever adapt to that because any real true performer will tell you that shit doesn't work. You don't have a script and then break that shit up the night before you're supposed to perform.
I was recently watching an interview with Sabu, and he said how Vince wanted him to cut promos and come up with scripts. You don't tell Sabu to do that. He's he's very methodical, mysterious. It's not right. That's what I mean.
Vince never knew who the fuck Sabu was, so you don't tell Sabu how to be Sabu.
Right.
You don't tell RVD how to be RVDs.
Yeah.
He
always tries to remode what's already great. That's so annoying.
Because they always felt like their machine was the end all be all, but we knew that machine was flawed during the mid 90s. And certain individuals had to figure out all right, this machine ain't what we thought it was, so we have to take that. We have to take what we learned from everywhere else and bring that shit here. Right. Stone Cold, Mick Foley, Goldust, Dustin Rose, Natural man.
Was Goldust Vince McMahon's brainchild? Was Goldust?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
I can understand that.
He was. Goldust was a Vince McMahon creation. And look, I mean, if we being real, you could say arguably Goldust was Vince McMahon's second greatest creation outside of Undertaker.
That's interesting. And I get why he created him that way. He was the Natural for so long in WCW. They had him as this new hotness or whatever.
Natural.
And
Natural, man.
A lot of people say, or I guess speculate, or have put together, even though Dusty made Vince a lot of money, that making his son Goldust was no different than putting him in the yellow polka dots and seeing how he did, and not expecting him to get over. And then Goldust became this whole thing.
Well, and no. Yes and no.
He made it his. Yeah, exactly. He made it his. He's a pro, and he wanted to be far away from that what you call image of his father as possible. I think. So, what's your opinion on Goldust? You still?
Yeah, it was that whole,
great character. It's a shame that they own it, because it would be awesome if he could use it elsewhere. And it's cool that he does a version of it, and he's still wrestling, and he looks great in the ring, and everything's cool. He's having the time of his life, which is great.
He's a combination of he's the best combination right now of the Natural and Goldust. And again, like I said, it's cool as a real old school wrestling fan to see him as that, because even though Cody is getting way more accolades than he ever got, Cody is getting the accolades that he never got. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people understand that, but at the same time, like I said, it is cool to see. It's cool to see Goldust not being Goldust, but still having that Goldust essence. You know what I'm saying?
And him having fun, more importantly, with the character,
because again, Goldust, when we talk about the Attitude Era, will always be a integral part of that, because Goldust is Goldust. Oh, excuse me, Dust of Gold.
And the package, you had Marlena looking hot with the cigars. You had the entrance.
Yeah.
The promos, the vignettes, all that.
During that time, there was
what was it?
nothing.
The Hollywood brawl, the backlot brawl.
Yeah.
Match or whatever. So.
The gold limo. So.
Oh yeah, the OJ chase.
See, so it's nice. It's nice to see that.
When you talk about individuals that are influential, look, Darby Allin has to pay homage to fucking Goldust.
Well, I'd then argue that every painted nigga has to pay homage to Goldust, because they get to be weird and painted.
No, all the weird painted.
Well, Sting and the Ultimate Warrior innovated, but Goldust definitely took the torch and ran.
The weird painted niggas, yeah.
The weird ones, ones with character,
Everybody before Goldust, no. Everybody after that, yeah.
Word, no respect for Papa Shango.
He was before Goldust.
That's what I'm saying. You said no respect for the ones before.
No. I'm talking about the influence in regards to Goldust.
I feel you. I got you.
Everybody before that, no. In regards to the painted faces, everybody after Goldust, yeah.
Yeah, they owe him. They owe him quite a bit. That was interesting. I wasn't expecting to talk about the Dust of Gold there. Before we get into Steve's top 5 and his reasonings behind that.
No, he already gave the top 5.
Did he? Oh, fuck. I'm skipping. I'm still on the old notes. That's why.
We're approaching the closing moments, honestly.
Indeed. I wanted to briefly touch on Sasha, because she's important. Speaking of people who are influential to the game, for those who don't know or have not been paying attention or whatever, Sasha Banks, real name Mercedes Varnado, may be fired from the E. It's still kind of up in the air. It hasn't been confirmed, but there are a lot of outlets saying that basically she's done. She walked out. They usually don't take kindly to you when you walk out. So, how do you guys feel about that? Is she really fired? Do you think another truckload of money is what it's going to take? She's still on her current contract, so I don't know how that works. Is she going to break contract, just eat the money, and I don't know, go to Joe? People are predicting that she's going to go to Stardom and shit, and all types of places. the obvious landing place would be AEW. She would be definitely a needle mover, shot in the arm for them. I would love to see her wrestle Thunder Rosa. Jesus Christ.
There's no other location for her to go to other than AEW.
Yeah, like I said, unless she does the dork shit and really goes to Stardom to wrestle Kairi Sane.
No,
but,
no, that doesn't. Yeah. That
I don't think she
sense.
will. I'm just saying that would be hilarious if she did. Well,
she's
Paige,
going to AEW too.
Yeah, but she recently, because she recently parted ways. Was it 2 weeks ago? Last week, 2 weeks ago, with them, saying she's a free agent. She's still trying to get in the ring, but the E wouldn't clear her. So most people are speculating that it's gonna be like Bryan Danielson, where she's gonna get outside opinion, see if she can actually do it, and then come back. She's been working out for a couple years now, so she's been working on it. So she's another one. That'll be a big shot in the arm to AEW for sure. But back to Sasha, like, is this impactful? Does it matter? Did she make the right move in doing that? Will this hurt her career? Like, there's all types of ways you can go with it, really.
It doesn't hurt her career, but to me, I feel like she should have made this move at least 4 or 5 years ago. Because again, fuck Daddy Vince. Sasha Banks could have been in the Indies and still made the same amount of money she was making. And then look, even if she's making $50,000 less, so what? Sasha Banks
back in shirts.
Yo, Sasha Banks, had she left the E 5 years ago, she would have been the best wrestler in the fucking world. Back then. Now, her doing all this now, what does it really mean?
My opinion is she's a very talented young lady.
Yeah.
Plenty of talent. She can go to AEW. Go to Japan. Her name is well known. Japanese will love her. Just the ease is sinking ship at this point. Just do what makes you happy and what you love.
Exactly. If you're a wrestling purist, I mean, look, and this goes for her and Bayley. Right. They both. I mean, I want to say it like this, especially since your man has presented a whole lot more iffiness, but. Sasha and Bayley, they should have took that Jeff Hardy fucking blueprint and they should have left then came back.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least one of them. Like,
kind of like what Drew McIntyre did.
Yeah, like, there was no reason for... They both could have did that, came back, then... Come on, like, Sasha and Bayley, bro, like, they wasted their careers being in the E for this long. So.
That's true, but they grew up like a lot of people were fans of the E, like a lot of people, I guess. But it wasn't what they thought. Like
fuck being a fan, like nah. For real, like there's no need to be a fan. Like you could be a fan, but at the end of the day, it's about business.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the E, Vince, all of them. They're always going to look at it in that way. Right. Do you make us money or don't you?
True.
Sasha and Bayley should have left in 2016 and came back.
It's true.
They should have left when that quote-unquote female revolution was popping. Mm-hmm. They both should have left then came back.
It's true. It would help.
No, they should have left just before the birth of AEW. I have an old tweet about this somewhere in the depths of my Twitter where I'm like, when Brandy was talking about the women's division and how it was going to revolutionize stuff and all this thing at the initial AEW, press conference when they signed Chris Jericho, I guess. I was like, yo, y'all need to, like... Sasha and Bayley need to give Brandy Rhodes a call, like, today. Like, you need to just take it back to 96 and just be the third and fourth man at AEW. And that would have kicked off the division crazy, man. And nothing on Riho, and no offense to Nyla Rose and all these people. Like, it was great to see them get their exposure. Britt Baker, etc. But like
none of them had the
they don't
none
have
of them had the persona or the
that
name.
Star power, that real. Both of them have that, and are fantastic in the ring. So there's no real. There would have been no discrepancy. There would have been no bullshit. It would have been amazing. And they should have. If she was gonna walk out, and I get it, she wanted to make it work. As I've said many times on other episodes and off air, she's probably trying to protect her husband because the E is notoriously petty like that. So obviously she didn't want to get her husband's job lost or anything like that. So I guess she was trying to make it work, do the best she could. As Spiggs just remarked, like, this is her dream job. She said that so many times, and all her suffering to get to where she's at. So she didn't want to just throw that opportunity away.
All right, so in other words, and
same thing with Bailey. They're super marks, man.
True.
Super marks.
But
that time after getting screwed over for the tag belts for the Iconics, that was the time to go.
This will be a good time to, cut off the cast. But in other words, Sasha Banks is she's basically this bitch. What's her name? Starlight from The Boys.
Essentially. Essentially. Especially given.
Don't get too much into it.
I won't. It's just given the trajectory, if we're gonna follow the image here of what happens to Starlight in the books and the show, even though the show's not over yet, but like, she realizes that it's not all it's cracked up to be, and all these sacrifices you made to get there, and all these people who fucked you over, and like you've never really had anyone in your corner like that. I'm sure that's not the case for Sasha. She seems to have a great support system. Her husband and her dog seem great and cute, and she loves them, and her friends support her. She seems fairly popular and influential in the back in the locker room.
True indeed.
But you're right. I think it's a good comparison. It really is.
And this is where I'll leave the cast. What does all that mean? Don't answer that. That's where we'll leave the cast.
Oh boy, we might need a sequel to this one, man.
That will be the sequel.
Before we leave this cast, there's just one question. I need you guys to give me your top 5 Nia Jax matches.
That won't ever happen. That's definitely where we leave the cast off at this.
I'll give you one, because it wasn't really a match per se, but it'll always be what she's remembered for. I guess besides
and you're already doing too much.
When she broke Becky's nose, man, like, and this goes into a point I was making before, like, even though Nia Jax is terrible in the ring, that moment like propelled Becky in a way. Even though she was already on the way up, they had the rocket on her and all that, but like that unexpected spice melange like made that story matter, even though
it did, but
it's not really a credible opponent. They again, as usual, they wasted it.
No. Again, it's either that or the whole quote unquote shoe fight between her and Charlotte. But
definitely, but it made Survivor Series hasn't mattered in a long time, and it made that Survivor Series matter. It made you care about the women versus the women in that match.
No. Only because Nia had been hurting other bitches before that, but
your average guy doesn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like your non-mark knows that. But
and that's why I present that, because.
But what your non-mark did see, and that's where I won't go too in depth about this, is
that's where you're in the cast.
Becky's nose is broken. People know that. Like people see that image is frozen in people's minds. So I guess shout out to her, and shout out to her for escaping the evil empire, I guess. But
and regardless of her being big time Beck, she's still kind of whack.
Well, we'll talk about that. We can talk about that later. But for now, man, this is the Triple P. Once again, back on schedule this week. Still in the birthday season. Let them know where they can find you, God.
Once again, that will be Bandit _Light7. That being on the gram. I already posted the pre-video on the gram for this particular episode, so stay tuned for all the extra spiciness.
As usual, you can find me on Twitter, memeing it up, listening to more credible wrestling journalists and sports journalists speak their minds. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for helping me do my job. I appreciate you. You can find me there at Shining Brizard. Just Shining Brizard, one word. It's supposed to be like Shining Wizard, but I try to be clever and shit. That's where I'm at. I'll be uploading this in a couple days. You'll see the heat soon. And on that note, we'll leave it to Spigs to close us out.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank you guys for having me on the podcast.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, the Dancing Bear. And the Dancing Bear will return.
Stay tuned for the chef up.